In the sun-scorched fields of rural Mexico, a story of defiance was born, rooted in the very soil that generations of farmers had worked with their bare hands. At the turn of the 20th century, these lands were being systematically stripped away from them, leaving a legacy of poverty and despair. Out of this injustice, a figure of unwavering resolve emerged, a man whose name would become a rallying cry for the dispossessed, Emiliano Zapata. He was a son of the soil, a horseman from the small village of Anenequilco in Morelos, who saw the suffering of his people and chose to become their champion, igniting a fire that would sweep across the nation. The simmering resentment of the peasantry erupted into open rebellion, and Zapata was at its heart. He was not a politician, cloaked in fine suits, but a revolutionary forged in the hardship of rural life. With unwavering conviction, he drafted the Plan of Ayala, a radical document that rejected the new government and demanded the return of stolen land to the villages. It was more than a political treatise, it was a sacred promise. Raising a banner emblazoned with the powerful words, Tierra y Libertad, land and liberty, Zapata called his people to arms. Farmers, laborers, and villagers, armed with little more than farm tools and an unshakable belief in their cause, flocked to his side, ready to fight and die for the land that was rightfully theirs. What followed was the whirlwind of the Mexican Revolution, a decade of brutal and complex conflict. Zapata and his Liberation Army of the South did not fight like a conventional army. They were a guerrilla force, deeply connected to the land and its people. Using their intimate knowledge of the rugged Morelos terrain, they launched swift, decisive strikes against federal troops, disappearing back into the hills and villages that sheltered them. Zapata's forces fought with a ferocity born of desperation and hope, capturing towns and redistributing land according to the principles of the Plan of Ayala. He became a master of revolutionary warfare, a constant thorn in the side of successive governments that sought to crush his movement and silence the call for justice. Yet, for all his victories on the battlefield, Zapata's journey was destined for a tragic end. In 1919, he was lured into a meticulously planned ambush, a treacherous act of betrayal that cut down the great revolutionary leader. But while his life was extinguished, his spirit was not. The assassination of Zapata transformed the man into a legend, an immortal symbol of agrarian struggle and social justice. His famous proclamation, "It is better to die on your feet than to live on your knees," continues to resonate far beyond the borders of Mexico, inspiring countless movements for land rights and freedom around the world. Emiliano Zapata remains an enduring icon, his legacy etched into the very fabric of Mexico's identity, a timeless reminder that the fight for land and liberty is a fight for the soul of a people.